Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Krashy, and today we're going to be doing a VOD review of a scrim between Foreign Famous and Gaimin Gladiators. Now, we're going to be watching the perspective of Phil Yumu's, our friend, our homie in the bottom lane, going to be playing the slow bro. And yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the comps. We'll talk about this game and see what's going on in this competitive scrim. So we have slow bro tank with the Pikachu and the Hoopa in the bottom lane. Assassin Dave's going to be jungling the Charizard with Machamp in the top lane. He has Choice Specs, Focus Band, and Buddy Barrier. Now, the reason he's running Choice Specs is because he wants the increased damage burst on his water gun secure for the early game, and that's like a pretty nice min-max that I'd say that you could do for competitive. Like if you can do that in solo queue, you can, or you can run something like a score shield. So definitely something to consider, just to try to take that third item slot and put it into good use to kind of guarantee yourself an early game advantage. So they're skipping the farm, they're going straight for the neutral Audino, and we're going to see him trying to secure here. So pulls that water gun, gets it, very nice done. So the big burst, that definitely helps out quite a bit. Now they're playing, traditional North American 1-1-3 meta. Holds the water gun. Don't know if they got that one. I didn't see it. Doesn't look like they did. I think they lose that one. But they go 3 for 2 most likely. If they can win a damage trade here, that's going to be huge. That's huge. Nice. So get a pick on Indy or the Hoopa and have to back up. I think I remember last time I did VOD reviews, y'all asked me to say character names too. So I'll try to remember to do that a little bit as well. All right, look at a secure. Nice, he gets that. So he's level 4. So they go 3 for 2, which is pretty solid in lane. As long as they don't die here, they can back up and kind of reset really quickly because 850Bs are going to come up in 5 seconds. So they're a little low. They got to grab some berries really quickly. He does have his potion slack off. So big surf really quickly. That goes out. I think GG got most of those. It looks like they might have been able to get the big one. I'm not really sure. So potion slack off, he uses that to heal himself a really large amount. He's got his surf, but he's gonna have to surf backwards probably, unless he just full sends it. Okay, we're just relying on the focus band, the healing coming out. So okay, so just a lot of damage trading going on, some poke going on. We have 2 muscle bands in the lane on Hoopa and Pikachu. That's just a guaranteed, and they're just doing their farm, getting their stuff in. So I will say that I think that the Ninetales lane is going to definitely help kind of alleviate any early game issues running Blissey tank, because Blissey's not inherently tanky, but running a Blissey, the Blissey Unite move and just scaling Blissey into an end game is really, really strong. So Phil been able to use his potion slack off to kind of keep himself really in the front line, winning the damage trade, it feels like. Now he might be looking to kind of rotate up. You see the Blissey doing the same thing, just looking for some of this extra farm, making sure that his teammate's good. 720Bs will be up in 20 seconds, and we'll have to see where they prioritize. Presumably the top 2v2, 1v1 with the jungle influence has been going well. I don't think I've seen a lot of deaths pop up or anything like that, but I'm mostly just watching Phil. So, all right, 720Bs coming up. He's postured in the front side of this bush. That'll help him get a nice surf off. So gets a little surf, but the, what's it called? The safeguard from Blissey doesn't allow for too much. Does look like Fui's able to get a kill on Machamp in top lane, so kills the Lucario in top lane, but they're trading kills a little bit. We'll see if Dave can trade that out, and it's just all about getting the farm in bot lane. The early game of competitive Unite it's really important that bot lane does well, but it's actually not the big swing part of the game. It's a lot of jungle and top lane. So it looks like they're trying to pull this, but it doesn't look like they want to be committal because they know that Dave's not there. So Dave is farming. They're just trying to pull it and reset it, so that way they're buying time right now. And that's a play that you can make because you can kind of manipulate the AI on Dreadnought. But with the enemy Lucario in top lane, Assassin Dave here in the bottom lane, he does have to be careful because of the safeguard. He's going to go ahead and pop Unite move. That's going to be good. And the enemy, or his team, rips it. So they get this really, really easily, really quickly. And they're going to go ahead and maybe look to dive here. He does have Amnesia Potion. That's going to be the counter Unite move. He doesn't have a Surf, but they are all there. Where Lutano stays top lane on the Lucario to get the Rotom. So an interesting play to get the Rotom. Not something that you see a lot of teams do, trying to trade the bottom lane to get the Rotom. Aww, he gets taken down. I think he thought he was in the bush, so maybe he just didn't think he was going to take a free auto attack. But yeah, we'll see like how the enemy play kind of like pans out. I can't see like how much they scored and if they're just like trying to min-max and get that top goal like low or anything. But they shouldn't lose too much here. If anything, I think that Foreign Famous here might have given up like a pretty healthy amount of catch-up experience off that Dreadnought. And you can see GG's being like really, really aggressive, and they're actually like kind of matching them just fine. But with Goof going down on the Ninetales there, it's just a little bit back and forth. So even with the Dreadnought, I'd say that the game is probably mostly even. Probably both in score and in experience. But Lutano on the Lucario in the top lane breaks the goal. They want to maybe stop him from stealing any farm. That's what you're seeing, this potential response here, as well as just trying to like min-max their farm. So as soon as that top lane breaks, Phil leaves, and he's going to get his level 9, right? So we can see that they're prioritizing, you know, important levels. And this is something that people in solo queue don't do. And this is where I'm actually going to pause for a second. This is where, you know, when we do these VOD reviews, I think it's important to take what you can and apply it to solo queue. And so what I would say you can do with this is, if you're, let's say you're like 9.5 on your level and you see your teammates like level 7, it's early game, you're all transitioning, it's maybe past first Dreadnought, so it's like mid game really. Don't just farm everything in front of them, right? Like try to get it low and maybe let them have it, because even though you want to like carry your games, you also want your teammates to have Unite moves and to be able to kind of like help you carry the game in a sense. So just something to think about. Min-max the farm that is on the map by not just taking it all, unless you're like a Cinderace or something like that, where you can just completely shred and take everything down. But if you're just playing like a strong laner probably, and even some junglers, maybe don't try to take everything and just try to actually put some good work towards getting your teams their Unite moves. After everybody has Unite move, then take all the levels. It doesn't matter, to be completely honest, as far as solo queue goes. All right, cool. So they use a Unite move to burn them off of that. We'll see how that pays off, because they don't get a kill, and they have to use the Hoopa ult to get them down, which is like a really good way of using Hoopa. So we saw that they were able to prioritize the top lane to get that score in. They did have to use the Unite move from Phil, and now let's see if he can get a nice surf here. This is getting real flippy. I think the enemy team gets it. Okay, so they're going to get taken down here most likely. Dave is kind of keeping them in it. He uses the potion. We'll see if he can back up now. All right, so they were able to use the Slowbro Unite move to get the top score in, but then that means that they don't have the Slowbro Unite for the bottom fight, right? With that Hoopa Unite coming in, it really put a lot of pressure on them. So I would say this is a very, very close game right now. Score-wise, hard to say. Just kind of depends on the overdunks, the overcaps. And with Rotom up right now, you're going to see them just like trying to farm. Uh-oh, Phil's probably taken down here. Yeah, you're going to see them trying to farm mostly, but they'll probably have to just catch the Rotom and deal with the Rotom. So we'll see. They're looking for a trade here. I like this play. They probably won't be able to get the 24. Maybe they can push them off. Nice. Okay, so a little bit of extra score put in. See what this turns into. Nice. They're actually able to put a lot of score in that. So they find a good, like a reasonable trade, which is good. They can use the Pika Unite move because that'll come back in time. So 3-minute Unite move for Pika, something that a lot of characters in the game can't do. And yeah, so we'll try to see if we can get Phil his level 11. That's a really big plus level power spike. You basically have to have it on Slowbro in competitive. And again, with the stalling of this Rotom, I think that is a thing that neither team really wants to let head their way. So we might see them prioritizing that here in a bit, but they really, like, I'm not kidding, like, he needs level 11. Okay, so he gets his level 11. That's Surf Plus. That's going to be those multiple waves. That's huge CC in the end game. And let's see what they're doing. He's holding the off lane. They have the Hoopa Unite. This is basically Zap fight territory. Like, as far as the clock goes, this is the final fight. But again, they don't want to just give up this Rotom for free. They do end up having it coming against them. So, let's see. Nice. Lutano gets taken down. Dave is very, very low. But they can head back. Oh, Phil. Oh, he gets taken down. That big Hoopa stun. Okay, taken down. It's close battle. So, what we have to watch for is that they don't just rip. But with Lutano down and with Zugra taking a ton of pressure, I don't think that they can rip. So even if they do like hard rip, they let it in because they know that they have to get in. Okay, they do have the hard rip potential, but they have to get in. He has his Unite move. Multiple Unite moves from Foreign Famous have gone off. And look, he grabs Toon. So Toon is the ulting Greninja. and he's not going to be able to get like full value out of that. But Dave on the Charizard is just like going crazy. Now we have Zugrug and Lutano back in on Lucario and Blissey, but since they were the ones that like kind of died first and got picked off first, they're like the only ones left. And we'll see. They secure this, and that should be the majority of the game. So we'll watch to make sure that they don't have any kind of a crazy repush. There is 1 minute left, but it's like this is coming down to the wire. There's really not much that they can probably do, because they're going to have huge lead with less than a minute. Now, if he can stall here or get away, that would probably be best case scenario. We'll see. So they have to let that top score in, which doesn't matter because we know that they have huge lead. And now they only have to hold 2 goals. They probably, realistically, as long as there's not like an 80 and a 100 goal, they probably realistically only need to hold their home goal right now. So this is another one of those things that you can realistically think about. If you know that you have the huge lead call out, which is like over 100 points, then like, okay, so we saw them score like what, 300, 400 points. Let's just say it's 300 to be safe. Let me do some theory crafting here. If Dave's team and Phil's team scored 300 points, we know that they have huge lead, which means it's more than 100 points, and the enemy Hoopa just scored 80. So they still haven't had enough to take over that huge lead. We know we scored at minimum 100 or 300, so we can actually give up this bottom tower and most likely be safe, as long as they don't do some crazy like 99 100 dunk on it, because that would be a little bit risky, because then you wouldn't be exactly sure where the points would be at. But just saying, yeah. So more often than not, like in this situation, they know that their priority is just to defend the home goal. But yeah, they're gonna just go ahead and close this one out because there's just not much time. So even if he scores that, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, like that 94 right there, like I promise you, it's just not gonna matter. Which we already know that. So they did score like 200 just now between the Hoopa and the Blissey. So we'll see the final score, and we'll give some roundup thoughts on it. Awesome. 606 to 413. So there you have it. Foreign Famous going up against GG. I think it was interesting. It was a really close game the majority of the time. Some of the macro play and decision making seemed really, really neutral from both teams. Like they were just kind of like matching each other and like giving a decent amount of respect, which is it's pretty cool. It didn't really seem like one team was being too aggressive, or GG seemed like they were trying to be a little aggressive, but got them into a couple of rough issues. I think if they had not lost Lutano in that final push, then it would have been interesting to see how Foreign Famous would just like deal with the Rotom, which they probably just let it go in and then have to go team fight. So the end game looking pretty good. They also have an end game Charizard and end game Machamp, which both scale magnificently. And yeah, interesting stuff. So friends, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I definitely do appreciate all the support. Check out being a member. So look at the little join button. We added some new emotes, and one of them is literally stuffed cheeks. It's a butt. It's Greedent's butt. So that's a thing. But as always, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.